Interesting conflicts.
Not conflicts of interest.
Typical corporate bullshit.
With your hosts, Nate, Robbie, Chris, Nika, and Callie. FinalencounterCast.com.
Ready? Get set? Go!
That's right. Welcome to Final Encounter Cast.
Wait.
Apparently the mortal enemy of Comcast?
Yeah, it seems like it. Comcast seems to have it out for the show. They prevented us from doing it last week.
Yeah. And a few close calls today.
There has. You're not kidding. Thanks for joining us today. We appreciate you hanging out and making Final Encounter Cast your new favorite gaming talk show. My name's Nate. Thanks for joining me today. Of course, we've got Robbie, Nika, Chris, Len, no Callie today, because of course Callie was up late last night.
Boo-hoo.
Raising $4,000 for transgender of Association of Michigan. It was so cool of him to do, and a really amazing job from Callie, and we want to thank him for his hard work and his effort doing that. So awesome, so amazing. So good job, Callie. Shout out to you, and wish you could have been here, but since you're not, we're gonna have Robbie read the news.
Yeah. No one knows that I do it a lot better anyway.
So we shall see.
So we we had intended on doing the show last week, but we were unable to due to technical complications, mostly surrounding our ISP Comcast, and I have to say I don't think that our little pre-show that we do with music helped instill any confidence here. I'm definitely still nervous about the viability of the connection.
More like com ass, am I right?
It's bad, dude. It really, I mean, like, we lost Nika for like 20 minutes of Limit Break Radio.
Which, I mean, granted, was a blessing in disguise, but it disrupts the show.
Anyway, no, we're super happy to be hanging out with you this week, and of course, we are going to be going weekly starting in 2 weeks. That's going to be our first weekly show.
Ooh.
I know.
Feel that tingling?
Are you guys excited?
Yeah. Do you feel that tingling in your balls?
No.
No? Why not?
I don't.
I think you might want to go to the doctor.
No, I think she's probably... Oh, wait, I should go to the doctor?
Yeah, you should go to the doctor.
For the ball tingle?
For the ball tingling.
Well, it's not like it's always there.
Oh, it's not?
No, like when you mentioned doing FFIX Weekly, then it's like, oh, tingling the balls. You don't get that.
No.
Are you not excited to do the show?
Oh, no, I'm super excited. My balls don't tingle when I'm excited.
Oh. It doesn't, like, start that way?
No.
Huh.
Well, now you have gonorrhea.
You might. You don't know.
I feel like gonorrhea would be more of a burn.
Well, it starts off as a fucking tingle.
Huh.
Yeah,
I'll keep you guys updated on that. Then.
That's the whole point. Don't leave that shit unchecked. Go get your willy checked.
If it turns into a burn, I will let you know.
If have you learned nothing from Deadpool? He told everyone to go get their prostate exams. Come on.
The thing is, how would I have gotten gonorrhea? Because I haven't been getting any action. So, that doesn't just like start randomly, does it?
You're a sad person. Why would you openly admit that?
That way it stops you guys from taking the shot. That's right. That's why.
Okay.
I turn into an
but it just makes it kind of like depressing and pitiful.
Yes, people are like instead of ha ha, he doesn't get laid. It's all about lessening the blow, guys.
I think in your case you want to add to the blow.
You would think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get to this news.
Yeah, all right. Let's talk about gaming news.
I'm here to do the news tonight.
And that's the way the news goes.
Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt this program to bring you important news.
Here's a story that's out of this world.
All right, here we go.
All right, there you go. Since you tried to talk through my production.
You're a dick.
You're a piece of shit.
Not like on purpose. I was literally like, at what point do I start reading? Okay.
You hear this production every week. It's not gotten any
Not
better.
last week.
It's not gotten any better. No, nobody heard it last week because it didn't go last week.
All right, so guys, Mistwalker Studios, led by Hironobu Sakaguchi, is partnering with Silicon Studios on a new project. Details remain very scarce, though some concept art has been released. Interestingly, the concept art was originally published in 2009, though at the time it wasn't tied to any specific project.
Yeah, this is I have not been excited for a game like this in a long time.
Well, what was the last time we got a Mistwalker game?
The last Mistwalker game, there was a phone game that was put out that apparently was pretty good.
Oh,
but their last big game was The Last Story on the Wii.
Oh wait, how did that do?
That was a great game.
I think it did very. I don't know how it sold, but
okay, you know what?
The reception was very.
The reception was great.
Was Last Remnant the Square Enix one that did poorly?
Yes, it was.
That's what I was thinking.
I played half of that game, and the battle system is atrocious.
Oh, it's so bad.
And then obviously we had Lost Odyssey, and they did Blue Dragon too.
They did Blue Dragon as well. Yes.
Both of those games were phenomenal. So yeah, I hope that we get more news soon, because Mistwalker doing more stuff, that's always a good thing. We don't by chance happen to have can we pull up that concept art on stream and give people a look?
No.
No. Okay.
Honestly, no. It would be way too much fucking work.
Okay. All right. Well, but
the thing is, the thing that they did, I don't know why Ascalia, or I'm sorry, why Callie left this off of the outline.
Really?
Because well,
fuck you, Callie.
Because the thing is that they're partnering. The big news is that they're partnering with, I believe it's Silicon Era, who is responsible for son of a bitch, Bravely Default.
Oh,
that's why.
That's some news.
That's why it's a big deal. And he left the most important part off the goddamn news story. So yeah, no, the fact that Mistwalker and Silicon Era are coming together for
something.
It's not Silicon. What is the fucking
Silicon
name?
Studios.
Is it Silicon Studios?
Well, that's what it says here anyway.
Yeah, it says partnering with Silicon Studios.
Oh, did you not read that?
I did say the studios.
Okay.
Now I don't.
Sorry, no. Silicon Era's a
okay. Because it doesn't mention in there that they're the ones that did Bravely Default. That I did not know.
Yeah, Silicon Studios helped with Bravely Default as far as I remember. And so I think that that's a pretty impressive pairing, especially because, like those are the two remaining heavy hitters for turn-based gameplay anymore. Mm-hmm. And what I hope is that this is going to be a full console release.
Yeah. Well, what I find interesting is that they're using concept art from 2009, 7 years ago.
Yeah, and I think, I don't know if the concept art that they had, see, somebody had put concept art with it, and I'm just not sure that it was ever meant to be paired together.
Gotcha.
I think that's
very possible.
I think that was a media thing.
A media thing?
Yeah.
Okay, that's very possible.
Yeah.
Well, IBM Japan has announced a Sword Art Online inspired virtual reality MMO project. Now, again, details here are scarce. However, the software developed game is expected to make use of the concept of cognitive computing. The concept, which maps the human thought process, is a computerized model and hopes to lead a new era of MMO gaming.
You know what? Kooky brought up a good point, and I feel dumb about this, but if you do want to see the concept art, you can find that over at our live blog over at finalencountercast.com/blog. In
fact, as we read through the news, these stories are all going to be popping up over there, so for additional information, check it out. Leave us some comments there as well. That'd be really nice. So all of that sounds really, really impressive.
Cognitive computing? Like using my mind to play a game?
I think the idea is that they're creating some type of computer model that replicates the human thought. So what? Like artificial intelligence in a game kind of deal?
Well, no, I mean, first of all, we all saw Sword Art Online. You know what I mean? Like, it seems like a bad idea to make a VR game out of a concept.
If we die in the game, we die in real life.
Exactly. Yeah, that just seems really dangerous. Like, now,
come on.
Yeah, I mean. So I find that a little bit ironic, but I mean, like I guess it's a good setting. But the thing is,
cognitive computing will send a series of flashes through your headset, through your VR thing. So when you die, you have a seizure and die.
No, I don't know how conceptually it's supposed to work. I just thought it was really funny that here you have an entire concept of people getting stuck in the game, and yeah, let's make a VR game out of that. That sounds like a good idea.
Here's the way that I'm kind of looking at it. All right, so all right, they have this game that can mimic the human thought process, right? How exactly do you use it in an MMO setting anyway? Because everything's pre-scripted. You know, when think about all the MMOs you've played: World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy, Guild Wars. It's not like you just sit here and have conversations with NPCs or storylines and stuff. The more that you diverge from your story and give people more options, that's more development time that it takes. And I feel anyway, that's why you don't usually see those in a lot of MMOs, and that kind of stuff is usually kept for single player games, like Mass Effect, for example.
Maybe the cognitive computing part comes in where, sure, you go into the game and it's reading your mind, so now
It doesn't read your mind.
And now there's an NPC that has the same thoughts and emotions that you do.
Please stop. The only way I could see it working that way is if, let's say, in a battle context, like the game sort of realizes, hey, there's a lot of ranged DPS this time, or maybe their healers are kind of weak, so let's throw out additional damage in this, area.
Right.
Or, wow, that's a lot of fucking melee. Let me cleave a whole hell of a lot more. That might be cool.
They can already do that, though. That would not utilize the cognitive computing aspect of it.
Where do they do that?
What do you mean? I'm saying they can already do that because, like in Final Fantasy 14, they know what roles you are and stuff.
But they don't use that is what I'm saying. Like like bosses and stuff have just like their own, moves that they just do that are usually scripted in some way, but that would take dynamic battling to a whole nother level.
Yeah, I think that takes an entire technology leap that we're just not at yet. I mean, I think we're just at the point, that really what this is it's going to be kind of like a clever a clever combination of a couple of different technologies. And look, cognitive computing sounds really like a heavy-handed concept, but we don't know what it is. Like it's just a label. We don't know how it will operate, and so that's a lot of promises that IBM is.
All they're doing is putting one of those like Google Translator bots into the game, so you can talk to it and it just says questions back to you. It's Siri in a game.
I think if it's not the reading your mind and making an NPC, I think if it's not that, then you should be able to like activate your cooldowns with the thought. Be like bloodlust, thinking it.
Nico, what do you think?
I think that would be awesome. But
what?
I don't.
What?
No, okay, first of all, I'm going to tell you that you guys were complete static for about the last half of the conversation, so I could only understand about half of it. But secondly, I don't know. Like, I think whatever this sounds really, really interesting, and I'm definitely going to be following it to see what happens. Depends on how integrative this technology can actually be. But I'm interested.
I mean, yeah, you just throw something out there like cognitive computing.
Sounds fucking processing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
I feel like if this technology was something that was really this groundbreaking, like, are they already using this for like military and medical stuff, or like, it feels weird that video games would be the first place they would use a technology like this.
Who cares about like hospitals and shit?
We could use this to like understand people who are like in comas or who have autism. Or
no, let's put it in our MMOs.
And like we can't communicate with us, but no, let's put it in an MMO instead.
Yeah.
Melky Thera from the game saying that she's surprised I'm so invested in something like this. Mass Effect is one of like my most cherished games, and the reason why is because you can make so many different choices and actually see the effects they have, and the idea that they're coming out with some type of technology that can mimic fucking like the human thought process. Like, I don't know if they're gonna like put that in characters or how the fuck they would use that.
I don't know where you're getting that, because literally the article says none of that. Nowhere in that article does it say that it's trying to mimic the human thought process.
Which lets you speak to your Mass Effect party members. Like, Liara, go there. That's a thing.
I think
I don't know, the human thought, like, why else would you, like, how would you be using the human thought process unless it's being used like for characters or something like that?
I got it. this technology will allow us to like control our dreams. So now you can like enter in a dream state and like have sex with anybody.
We are moving on.
Wow.
Fallout 4 creator Bethesda has announced their first 3 DLC packs for the popular game. The first will arrive sometime this month for $19.99, titled Automatron. The second in April...
Is that $19.99? It says $9.99.
$9.99, sorry. $9.99. The second in April, which is titled Workshop Wasteland and costs $4.99. And lastly, the largest of the 3 will launch in May for $24.99, called Far Harbor, and will lead the player on the search for a young woman and a secret colony of synths. They have now originally the season pass for all these DLCs was $39.99. You have
how much?
$29.99.
Wow,
$29.99.
Are you having problems with numbers today?
I always have problem with numbers. You missed the boat on that though. It is now $59.99.
Jesus. Did you get if you bought it at $29.99?
You get it at that price.
Then you're grandfathered in at that price. That's good.
As soon as I heard about this,
good.
As soon as I heard about this, I got on. And my bank account could barely, take the hit. But I'm like, fuck that, buying it now because there was no word on when they were going to do the price hike. But they have done it now.
Got it.
Just for comparison, though, they have said that Far Harbor alone will add almost. Or will add so much to the map that it's almost going to double its size.
Wow.
So that's a pretty... I mean, that alone is pretty fucking big.
And for only $24.99, that's kind of impressive, actually, I have to say.
I know a lot of people, and even myself included, when I first heard about this price hike, was like, really, guys? Like, come on. But the fact that we're already getting 3 right now, so early in the life of the game, and there's a very good chance that they're going to get even more going forward.
You think? I don't know. You think?
Well, I mean...
I think so.
I don't think anyone, in Bethesda included, because Bethesda, if anyone there knows how to do DLC right now, it's fucking Bethesda. But I think even in their what seems to be infinite wisdom about it, I mean, they tend to do three punches of DLC and they're out.
Really?
Skyrim got 3. And that's it.
Okay, well, this doesn't equal $59.99, so this can't be everything.
Yeah, this doesn't.
If they're doubling the size of the map, and they have that set out for one of the 3.
Okay, but here's the thing: $40 for all that. Why would you then spend $60 to get all 3 if you can get it individually for $40? I mean, a lot of the games that I think did DLC really well, they supported DLC for like 1.5 to 2 years after the launch of the game.
Yeah.
I think
but
we're
you
getting
don't.
more.
We don't know what the timetable for these 3 pieces of DLC.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, just said it.
March, April, May.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, like or release that quickly, dude.
Yeah.
They got to come out with more.
Yeah. I don't know, because I feel like, okay, how long has Metal Gear Solid 5 been out?
Since last fall.
And how much DLC have we seen? 0.
Okay, well, that's because
Konami... we've gotten some MGO DLC.
MGO DLC doesn't
All right,
really
I have
count.
2 things to point out there.
Konami is a fucking train wreck, okay?
First,
No,
fuck Konami.
you're right.
To be fair, Metal Gear never really has that kind of...
I was going to... Because of the whole open world,
but they said that they were going to support it with DLC.
This is Bethesda. They know how to do DLC.
This was also before Kojima
Apparently.
split.
I mean, not that all this isn't like legitimate points, but I just think the fact that all of these combined is $40 and they're charging $60 for the season pass.
Yeah, there would definitely be more, because otherwise no one would buy the season pass.
That alone,
But I feel like the DLC development cycle is getting shorter and shorter. People don't support their games as long as they should. I mean, even Rockstar, who has a very good history of it, all the only things that we've seen for GTA 5 have been online stuff.
That I thought was fucking weird. On one of our previous shows,
it really is.
We mentioned that it's finally getting its first DLC.
No, it's not getting any. It hasn't yet.
I thought that we read some headline that said it was finally going to get its first one. I'm like, it's been out for how long?
No, the first bit of DLC, I think, is online. That's what they were making a big deal about.
Well, I guess there's one of the biggest problems with DLC is how insane it can go, like from one developer to another. Like the whole model is just so fucked.
Well, look at GTA, but look at GTA 4. It had 2 of some of the most narratively impressive pieces of DLC, Ballad of Gay Tony, and then the one with the bikers.
Yep,
I can't remember that one. But those were really impressive pieces of DLC, and it just seems like Rockstar is totally like onto their next thing. And I just wonder if the overall approach that devs are taking to DLC is much more because people are shelling out for chintzy shit. You know, they're shelling out for cosmetic stuff and all kinds of stuff. It just seems like developers are like, oh well, if we can nickel and dime them to death with online, character skins for $5, why bother making real content?
In a general sense, yes, but we do still have some gems out there, and we're hoping that Bethesda is one of them.
Yeah.
I'm just going to raise a point. If you do any kind of PC gaming, cosmetic DLC is kind of crappy now
because it takes modding out of it.
No, well, that's the thing. Like Fallout 4 has modding, XCOM 2 has modding, and there is just a ton of cosmetic shit in XCOM 2 that they really can't rely on cosmetic stuff to carry the DLC weight because there's a good chance a modder has already done it. Like you can get
or is going to do a better job.
That's also a good point.
We have like all of the Halo Reach helmets in XCOM 2. Well, at least I do. And
have you ever played a Halo game?
No, never. Well, I've played Halo, and Robbie, you've played your Halo 4 mod. It's you want to tell us about your your Fallout 4 mods? I don't have. No, not Halo. Fallout.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Well, what ones? Let me tell you. I have a bunch of graphical tweaks. I have one that turns all of the like pictures and propaganda.
The ones with the giant breasts. That's the one I'm getting at.
I was just about to explain that one. I have one that turns all of
he needs to explain it.
all of the pictures and propaganda and ads and like billboard signs
Tell me
into
about the boobs.
50 style pinup art. A lot of it's very tasteful.
Tasteful.
Is that the time period that the game is set in?
Yes.
Well, that's really cool. Then.
It's not set in the 50s, but it has that like 50s sort of feel
vibe
to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It does.
It's technically in the future.
And the Fallout suit with the giant breasts coming out of the girl.
Coming out of her, like
she's a boob monster, body horror.
I also have this sweet combat armor that has like hundreds of different emblems on it. Like my dude's walking around with like the Punisher symbol on his chest. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm pretty cynical when it comes to DLC at all.
I don't blame you.
And I guess I'm just trying to poke holes in Bethesda right now, which I guess is kind of a dick move.
Leave them alone.
But
the fact that they raised it from about $30 to $60 means that there is going to be
they have to have more planned. Yeah, because with it being at 40 right now, the total at 40, and it was at 30, that would have been a fine price. If this was all they're coming out with, you save $10 for the season pass. But if they raised it preemptively before the DLC came out, they have to have at least one more.
You lose $20.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point. All right. So that's pretty cool. Good on Bethesda. So.
Yep. Capcom has apparently remembered that they like money and will be bringing Resident Evil 4, 5, and 6 to the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 later this year. They will each be priced at $19.99, although strangely they'll be releasing them in reverse order. Resident 6 will be out this spring, with 5 coming out in the summer and 4 in the fall.
What? What's the point of that?
I don't know.
Unless the further back you go, the harder they are to port. Looking at UFF9, apparently.
Oh, that's possible.
It could be, textures and stuff like that. You know what? Actually, that's a remarkably good point. That's a remarkably cogent point. Good job.
You're welcome. Star Fox Guard will be launching alongside Star Fox Zero. The game, originally titled Project Guard, will allow the player to assist Grippy Toad, uncle of the much maligned Slippy Toad, fend off waves of attackers from an outpost. The game will be included with the release of Star Fox Zero, but can also be purchased separately.
Star Fox.
Star Fox Tower Defense.
Did nobody like Slippy Toad?
What? Did anyone like Slippy Toad?
He was the Toad, right? In the original Star Fox?
Yeah.
Slippy?
Why is he much maligned?
Help, Fox! Get this guy
basically
off me!
Slippy could not take care of himself, and you spent the entire game saving Slippy from the enemies. That's why.
Poor Slippy.
Fox, I got a boogie on my tail!
You should just let him die.
But for whatever reason, as a child, I loved Slippy, and I also thought Slippy was a girl for a really long time. And I was so upset because, when I would play pretend in second grade or something with my friends, and I was always Slippy. When I found out Slippy was a boy, I was really mad.
Did all your friends make you be Slippy? Because that would be hilarious.
She wanted to be Slippy.
Slippy on purpose.
Oh, that would be too funny. Oh, jeez.
Hilarious.
I'm sad.
then our job here is
You're bringing my sadness back again. This is bad nostalgia, the trauma.
Okay, this next one is so good. So Leland Yee, former senator of California, an outspoken video game critic, has been sentenced to 5 years in prison on charges of gun trafficking and political corruption.
Well, you know why? It's 'cause those damn video games.
Yee is best known to gamers as the man who championed the 2011 violent game law, which the Supreme Court struck down.
What a fucking...
Apparently, this guy has been playing way too much Call of Duty.
What
a tool.
What a piece of work.
Well, if he was gun trafficking, he'd be like, it'd probably be like GTA 5.
No, the point is, he may have been doing these crimes, but in this case, he wasn't playing video games.
But it's video games that cause violent behavior. Remember?
Right, so imagine if he...
Not his gun running.
Imagine if he also played video games, how much worse this could have been.
It would be.
He'd be using those guns.
Exactly. It wouldn't have just been gun running. He'd have been running and gunning.
God, this is ridiculous.
It's all bad.
It's so ridiculous. How?
I got
nothing.
Yep. Mm-hmm. It's pretty. I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory.
My mind is blown.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not surprising that a politician
lied
would be completely hypocritical.
Oh yeah, of course.
But I mean, to get busted for gun running? That's a bizarre crime to get busted for in 2016.
Why? Somebody's got to run them guns. Who
doesn't have guns and where? Why? Under what circumstance?
These could be like AK-45s or something. Like, you know, like Uzis.
Yeah, it doesn't say it's
You
like
can
a
buy that at a
gun. It could be like an assault weapon.
Like a full automatic. Like
you can buy it at a store. Who was he running guns to? Was he running them to
maybe
Mexico?
To illegal immigrant. I don't know.
Was he running them to Mexico? Was he distributing them among people who can't otherwise buy guns? That is a bizarre charge to get in 2016. It's just
I mean, they might have been illegal guns, like
Gang
they were stolen.
wars.
Maybe
Gang wars.
Maybe that's it. Maybe they were trying to. Well, but then
that's what happened in season 1 of Sons of Anarchy. They were gun runners because they were having gang wars with other bikers.
And if you already have like a felony or whatever, you can't go in and buy a gun.
Because, I mean, part of me, when I read this, it makes me go, okay, like, what charge did they misconstrue? Like, what charge got all trumped up to be able to say that this guy was running guns? But, I mean, like, that's a really strange thing.
Hold on. What if he was hoarding them for the impending gun laws that are going to make it so nobody can get any guns? Then he would be, like, rolling in the money.
So, what?
But you're not drug traffic or gun trafficking. You're just
you're
gun
not running
hoarding.
them if you're hoarding.
Yeah, exactly.
Gun supplying.
He had
to, is the opposite of running.
He had to be selling them to someone to get accused of gun trafficking.
They were probably guns without serial numbers or something, or like the people buying them didn't want to have that like serial number attached to their purchase, so they're buying them from him illegally.
Does he work? What?
I found it.
Okay. What's the circumstance, Woody? Tell us.
He was arrested that day by the FBI conspiracy to traffic in firearms without a license and to illegally import firearms, as well as with participating in a scheme to defraud citizens of honest services.
Wow!
Defraud honest citizens?
You know what? Actually, no, hold on, because you raised a good point in here. Sometimes... Nate, fuck me. Sometimes, especially in the media, you know, they'll, you know, not even necessarily trump up charges, but they will find interesting ways to word them,
contort
right?
it. Yeah.
So, for example, let's say he's a gun collector.
Yes,
and
that's what I was thinking.
He's looking for a specific gun, but he doesn't want to pay that much and wants to get around customs, but he gets caught. So they're like, you know what, dude? Gun running.
Exactly.
Fuck you.
That's what I was thinking. But no, after all of that laundry list of shit, that's pretty incriminating. That's pretty damning.
He apparently solicited money from undercover FBI agents.
Ooh.
Yeah. Wow. What a scumbag.
Yep.
And video games cause violence. You fucking piece of shit.
Hey. Just because guns were involved doesn't mean there was any violence. This was a simple business transaction.
People who play video games to prove his point, so that the people who get the guns
I'll
then
show
become
them.
violent.
Hey kids, do you want some guns?
He said gamers have got to just quiet down. Gamers have no credibility in this argument.
Really?
Wait, he said that about
This is all about their lust for violence and their industry's lust for money. This is a $1 billion industry, and This is about their self-interest.
You know what else is $1 billion industry?
LMFAO at what a noob you are.
You know what else is $1 billion industry?
Video games.
Fucking guns! Guns are $1 billion. My God. There's like... And what makes what he did even remotely defensible? It's
know what won't send you to prison? Playing video games.
Exactly.
Yeah, but shooting people
Unless
after
you
you
kill
play
people
the
because
person.
of the video games you play.
And how would you get those guns? From illegal
him.
gun runners.
From senators.
Exactly.
Like this clown.
Exactly. See, video games, they're all fantasy, right? You actually have to go and apply to buy a gun and have your mental health background checked. And there are standards when you buy a gun in most states. Okay. So the fact that he was circumventing that, but at the same time, getting on his moral high horse and trying to imply that video games make people fine. Fuck you.
Okay, well,
Leland Yee, you piece of goddamn shit.
He's a senator. That makes him part of the above the law.
What an awful person.
He is an enlightened and highly respected person of the community. He doesn't. The law doesn't apply to him.
Ugh.
Okay.
Ugh.
Make America great again. Give guns to video gamers.
Barnes & Nobles will soon begin hosting tabletop nights. The casual gatherings will be used to allow players to come in and try new games that the store will be selling. Currently, they are listing King of Tokyo, Sheriff of Nottingham, Splendor, Codenames, and Lanterns as the game they will have available for testing.
I think that's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool, yes. I hope they expand a little bit more instead of just offering this as a play testing. If, let's say that you don't really have people to play tabletop games with, D&D style stuff, Warhammer, that kind of stuff.
Sure.
If this will also double as a way, for them to host that kind of stuff. You can show up and play test and buy these, but they'll also have space set up so that you can, meet other people with similar tabletop interests and, just have a place to be able to meet to do that kind of thing.
If it's successful, I would hope they would move forward with that.
I mean, this isn't anything new. I think comic shops and hobby shops have been doing game nights like these for years, and I think doing it at Barnes & Noble is really cool. Because first of all, you're going to get younger people, going around shopping with their parents.
Yep.
And their parents are in Barnes & Noble. They see something like this. They might be a little bit more likely to get involved. And secondly, I mean, Barnes & Noble isn't your hole-in-the-wall hobby shop. I've been to a lot of fucking comic book shops, a lot of hobby shops, a lot of card collectible shops where you go in and the atmosphere is just oh my God, sun! Who opened the door to let sunlight in?
Every single time I've been to a hobby shop with a girl, you could hear this. I wish I was exaggerating, right? Because it's a stereotype nowadays.
I've experienced
the amount of whispers, it's a girl.
I know.
Even if it's just supposed to be sarcastic, it's a girl.
I know.
It's a girl.
Yeah.
It's a girl.
It's really just...
You just look at him and you're like, really, dude? You're going to be that guy?
Oh,
I was just joking.
When you go... Jesus.
You do that surprisingly well.
Yeah, that's... Stop it. God, that's so creepy. But no, I mean, that's the thing is when you go into those places, when you go into one of those places, you just want it to be well lit and the people to be bathed at least semi-recently,
Yeah.
And it's it's a 50-50 shot at best whether or not you're going to get that. There are certain places where I've been and I will not go back.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't had a chance to shower for a few days. I've been gaming like a loon.
Yep.
True story.
So yeah, and plus, I mean, when you go into most Barnes and Nobles, they're pretty respectable places, right? So yeah, let's just hope they don't attract the wrong kind of crowd.
Yeah, they don't have that. All of their lights work.
The underside of tabletop gaming.
Let's be honest. The underside of tabletop gaming is the majority of tabletop gaming.
That'd be a funny documentary.
Oh, it would.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. That'd be a cool place to be able to go and meet new people, hang out with new people. And what it might also do too is open up Barnes and Nobles to increase certain parts of their stock. Most Barnes and Nobles I've been to actually have more comic book material than actual comic shops. Now, sure, they don't have the newest individual issues, right? But they have a pretty decent section, as well as like they have sections that are dedicated to either like, gaming guides and stuff like that, or alternative sources of lore. Like, I bought you for your, I don't know if it was Christmas or your birthday, but a Metal Gear Solid novel. I got that from Barnes and Noble.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, they've and like Barnes and Noble isn't a bad store. They were able to survive longer than Borders was.
Well, it's because they ate them.
Yeah.
Pokemon Sun and Moon have been confirmed for the holiday season this year on the 3DS. Pokemon Red and Blue have also been re-released to commemorate the 20th anniversary of the series. Sun and Moon will mark the first entries to the main series since X and Y in 2013.
How excited are you guys?
Okay, I have a question. Maybe someone can answer, but the only ad I've seen for Red and Blue re-release is something that's pre-installed on a Red or Blue 3DS. Do you know if they're going to be selling them separately as well, or do you have to buy the Red and Blue 3DS to get it installed on?
No, you can buy them out of the shop.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can buy them now.
You can buy them digitally?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'll buy it. I'll play it. The Pokemon games have never added anything that makes them like super, oh my god, this new thing. It's just like, all right, here's the next one. Let me go ahead and play it and add more to my collection and then wait for the next one.
Yeah, I actually stopped playing. I think my very last one was Diamond and Pearl. I haven't bought a main entry since then.
X and Y was really good, though.
I never
they
played
added
X
a
and Y,
lot
and I never
of quality
played
life stuff to it.
Like the other ones that were like Heart Gold and that. I'm probably way more likely to replay the re-release of Blue before I would buy Sun and Moon.
And they apparently, in the re-releases of those two, they actually made sure to include the glitch where you can get Mew.
Oh.
Yeah, well,
really?
It's the straight Red and Blue. There's no upgrades or anything.
Yeah, so you can legitimately get Mew now.
Are they ever gonna add first generation to the Pokédex? Like the big, like, because you can't get if you.
Oh, the Pokebank?
Is that the Pokebank? That's what it is.
Actually, yes. I believe there is going to be an update to where you can upload your Gen 1 and 2 Pokemon.
That's good. That's great. Oh, that's good. I mean, because a lot of people were complaining about that you couldn't. There were still holes that they couldn't fill.
Yeah. Oh, no. Well, you can always now at this point you can get all of the Pokemon on
what about
the newest
about the missing no glitch? Can we still do that?
Yes, it's literally Red and Blue.
It's just a straight port.
Straight port.
Yeah. Wow. Actually, before this, without the
the only thing that they added, they took away the link cable.
Yes.
And they made that Wi-Fi.
Yes.
Yeah. I think before the re-release of Red and Blue, the only thing that you couldn't legitimately yourself get was Mew, I think, because
no, they released that in an event at some point.
Yeah, there was some kind of
right. So that's what I'm saying. If you, as just a new player coming in, wanted to get him, you would either have to find some way to cheat it in, or get it from somebody who actually has a Mew.
Well, yeah, but
who the fuck's gonna trade their Mew, dude?
That's like. There's a whole bunch of event Pokemon that are like that, like Celebi.
Yeah, there was. Celebi was one of those, right?
Yep, Celebi.
Jirachi too, right?
Jirachi, yeah.
Yeah, but I already had those ones. I didn't have Mew.
Okay, well, this is for a new player, Dick. Gosh, you just said it as a new player coming in.
Yeah.
Coming crazy.
Somebody actually explained. Who was it that was explaining how Missing No worked? Someone was explaining that to me the other day. It was really interesting.
I saw a video on how
it was something about like when you talk to that trainer who teaches you how to catch a Weedle or Caterpie or whatever.
Yeah.
It has to put your name somewhere into some code so that the code can say old man in front, and so it drops your name into the code for like next to Cinnabar Island. And so the reason there's like different Pokemon every time you play is because whatever your name, each letter of your name is a code for a different Pokemon. So when they drop your code into Cinnabar Island and you fly there directly after the code was switched, it hasn't refreshed the code yet. And so whatever Pokemon like your name is coded for are the ones that are going to show up. It's really interesting. And so Missing No only shows up if the part of your code in your name is like there's a missing code, or there's like no Pokemon registered for that part of your name or something like that. It's really interesting.
One of my favorite pieces of fan art, not even just Pokemon in general, just period, is there's a piece of fan art explaining where Missing No comes from, where it shows a trainer that's basically died out in the wild, right? Mm-hmm. So the Pokemon are still in the ball, but they don't know that
this is going to make me sad.
That their trainer has died, right? So they're in the ball and they're just like, all right, it's been a while since he's called me out. I'm sure they have a good reason. They'll come back for me eventually, right? And just kind of going through things like that, and as like these different thoughts are going through the Pokemon's head, the Pokeball is like, at like 30% power, at 20% power, and it's going down until like the data starts to become corrupted.
Yeah.
And basically that's how it ends up becoming Missing No, is because it doesn't have the power to even remember who or what it is, and it just becomes a glitch in the system somewhere.
Oh my god, that's so sad.
Oh, it has like a whole little comic that goes with it. It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking.
Jeez. Oh boy.
A trailer for the new Super Smash Bros. Documentary was released at MagFest. Motherfuck me, Chris.
God, you are terrible.
I'm so bad today. I would assume out of all of us, you would be the one who would probably have the most knowledge of this. No,
documentary.
So, but
yeah, on Super Smash Brothers. Really?
Did you not see this?
Well, I knew that it existed, but I don't.
I'm actually surprised. Like I was at MagFest and I didn't hear about this.
Yeah, I don't care about a Super Smash Brothers documentary. I mean, the majority of Super Smash Brothers are really smelly and nasty people.
Jeez.
Competitive ones. Don't get me wrong, competitive.
Well, why don't we take a look at the trailer, because I thought that they put together a very impressive trailer here. So this is the trailer for Metagame, and this was a MagFest preview. So.
You know, when you're a kid, right, you want to be a warrior, or you want to be an astronaut, and you want to do battle with dragons or what have you. And it's as an adult now, you know, we live our day-to-day lives. I have a career, but at the end of the day, you know, I think deep down we all still kind of want to do that crazy thing we wanted to do as a kid.
When I play at my best, I'm Neo from the Matrix. Like, I'm just unbeatable. And I'll always believe that. I don't care if I lost the next 100 tournaments in a row. I know that when I play my best, it's a wrap.
Meg would catch people's habits and just call them out under these brutal ways.
Bucks needs a miracle right now. Please go. Oh, he read that roll! He read that roll!
He has this weird, unique thing where when everybody's watching him, when it matters the most, he's in his comfort zone, which makes no sense.
Oh, misses that.
Just look at some of these people.
Nobody ever has everybody's eyes on them.
They're all neckbeards. What can you do?
He's the greatest of all time.
Mango's the only neckbeard I see.
Yeah, but this is impressive, though.
It is.
Oh, the documentary's fine. But
the
to be better.
Look, there's a girl in it.
Yeah, and she's pretty.
What?
Well,
Yeah, she was pretty.
She was pretty.
He is definitely a machine. Every time he hits you with any move, he knows what the next step is.
Oh, nice. Oh, wow.
These reactions are killing me.
Well, that was a legit Peach move, though.
No, it was. That's
That was awesome.
That's the thing is that's so cool about this is that
and I'm
they
gonna show
really know what the fuck they're talking about. Like the people who are making the documentary know what they're talking about. It's great.
It's not like it's just a bunch of dudes being like, let's make a documentary about ourselves.
Finally made it. When you lose a big tournament, you're just sad for like 4 months, and it's all you think about.
There was like something holding me back. I felt like
He was struggling for that scene.
Maybe I think had that.
That's not something he does all the time. He doesn't go and train that way.
He was at where? Where does he live?
They're like, hey, let's get. How about we get an establishing shot of you running down the sidewalk?
you know, you just really messed this up and just cost us so much money. Smash was all I had. Coming out of the woodwork to win a major, a national, is not something that you see.
You break your wrist. No one says, oh, well, you're still going to go, right? You're going to compete on it anyway. It doesn't matter. I'm going to get whooped. This guy's not going to come 3-0 me and take my crown. Like, in the same, I'm like, no, wait a minute. Like, I don't like this.
Dude, this presentation is insane. I'm like I don't give a shit at all about Smash Brothers, and I'm like drawn into this.
That's what a good documentary,
it is.
Film does.
Yes,
period.
yes, you're absolutely right.
The more you
and I think I'm excited for this because it's a new wave of media inside of gaming.
Yes,
it's going to show a very positive view of something like this without a lot of the media bias and shit.
No, yes, because it's getting at the heart of what we all love about gaming.
Who is the best?
It gets at the heart of why we all do this.
Yeah, whether this was League of Legends or Smash Brothers or something else, this would still be just
yes, if it was League, I think I would still be into this.
That's what I'm saying.
This is amazing.
The music is pretty legit.
Yes, it is.
Metagame. That's a nice title.
It is. It's
in fact, Nero, there was a documentary that you showed me once about the guy who had the world record for the kill screen for the original Donkey Kong game.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. Like that was a legit thing too.
That that I think won awards.
I don't even doubt it.
And that was sort of like the first one. There was also one about MMO players that came out around the time that I did my audio documentary called Second Skin.
I remember.
That also kind of like did the same thing where they just assumed, look, everyone knows what the fuck Smash Brothers is. We don't have to explain what this scene is. Let's just dive into the scene and get into what's interesting there.
Right.
Because the interesting narratives that I saw in this trailer were the competition, the struggle against oneself.
You don't even have to know anything about Super Smash Brothers.
They're great narratives. It's what makes... Dude, this is what makes watching 30 for 30 on ESPN so fascinating. I hate sports. I'm not a sports fan at all by any stretch of the imagination. And I will sit around and watch 30 for 30 for hours. Because the way that they present that stuff, it's like, oh my God, I never knew. It's
compelling storytelling.
It's human drama in its purest form, and it's nice that video games are getting some love in that direction.
Absolutely.
I think that's a great way to way to go.
So I'm actually more excited for this now that I know exactly what it is. That's really, really cool.
Yeah.
And an update to a story we talked about the last episode that aired. The developers of Unsung Story have given some more information. They've cleared a few of the financial hurdles they were facing, including getting one of their products ready to ship and securing funding from an unspecific creditor. They cited these issues as well as some key staff leaving in 2015 as the primary reasons for the delay of the game. They expect work to resume on Unsung Story in the not-so-distant future, though they've pushed back their goal date to have the game playable from June 2016 to fall 2016. They've also mentioned offering refunds to in some form once the company is financially stable to do so.
Yikes.
Well, at least they're back on track.
Yeah, I mean, well...
And offering some type of compensation is nice, too.
Yes. Although, it makes me... I don't know, like a lot of people were going like, oh man, look at Kickstarter, it's going to save the indie game, it's going to save retro gaming. And it's another disappointment coming out of Kickstarter. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't know. I think it's one of those things where you can't take that label and put it on the whole thing as, everything as a whole, because Kickstarter has come out with some amazing things before.
Well, and it's not on Kickstarter.
Right.
It's just, it's the whole idea of... crowdfunding a video game, and is that something that's even feasible? And a lot of people were going, yes, fuck the studio system.
Didn't Skullgirls be really successful with that, though?
Not that it's a game, but Roll20 came out of that, which, as far as I'm concerned, is still one of the greatest things to happen to tabletop gaming. Taking it off of the table.
I'm not saying that like crowdfunding. I mean, obviously we're crowdfunded. You know what I mean? Like it definitely can work and stuff like that. But it's just I don't know, man.
When it blows up, it's a
when it goes
huge
bad, it goes really, really bad.
And I think the reason why you feel that way is because when it's something like this, you have a personal investment in it.
That's right.
Like, for example, if they were announced like the next Final Fantasy, right? Final Fantasy 16, it actually looks like really legit, like it's going back to its roots. And obviously, we would be personally invested in it. But it's completely different.
But then they ask
when
for
you put money
Yeah.
into it. That's a different kind of personal investment. No,
Well,
I get it.
I think the thing that bums me out the most about that is how willing these people who sign up for Kickstarter are to just rip people off. That bums me out because it feels like not. And I'm not calling out Unsung Story because they seem to have gone to the extra lengths to say, look, we're committed to doing this and to doubling down on it, and good for them. But there are too many stories like Ant Simulator or like Bear Simulator or however many other...
Stop making animal simulators!
Well, but however many of these...
right.
Even Phil Fish is a great example of this, where, either you receive a little bit of criticism and you quit, but you've already taken all of that money, so you've already got people's money, fuck it. Or in the worst case scenario, like an Ant Simulator, you just don't even try to develop a game and you just take that money and you blow it. And of course Kickstarter there's no repercussions for people who do that kind of stuff. And it sucks because then people people are naturally less willing to want to invest in
Yeah,
in
well,
a
I think
crowdfunded
I think
project.
the biggest lesson to take from here is it's not just about the product that you're funding. You have to look at the people you're funding as well. I mean, when the new MS3TK started on Kickstarter,
MST3K,
whatever it is, your Mystery Science Theater thing, like how willing were you to give to that?
I mean,
you wanted to drop $1,000 bucks,
I know,
dude.
I wanted to.
But that's because not only do you believe in the product, but the people. You know that the people behind it were going to take it all the way as well.
That's
right?
true, but I mean, how do you explain something like Bear Simulator hitting 100,000?
No, yeah, you're right.
You know what I mean?
That
Like,
was bullshit because the guy couldn't take the criticism.
Yeah.
You're right. No, that fucking sucked. That type of person, if you're not willing to see it through to the end, you shouldn't be putting it up like that. Because where does that $100,000 go now?
Yeah, exactly.
Poof.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like no one feels like they have an obligation. You know, there are certain Kickstarter people that are just like, I got your money, bye bye. They don't they put minimal amount of effort into their product, and here we are. You know, we've got the Patreon, and we're slogging away every day, sending people posters and getting T-shirt proofs printed up and all of this other shit, man. Like how hard we work and how on the hook I feel to everyone who gives to our patron.
Oh yeah.
I look at these fucking people and I'm like, how
dare you?
How do you have the balls to do this? Like where do you get off, man? Like how do you?
Probably on their mountains of money.
That's unfortunate.
Hey.
Yeah.
You douchebag.
Anyway, all right.
Bravely Second is seeing more and more content being altered or cut from the American release of the game. In addition to the Tomahawk class being reworked into Cowboy for the American release, numerous other jobs are being reskinned to be less revealing. Beyond that, the art book, which comes with the collector's edition of the game, is going to have art altered and even removed.
How do you guys feel about this?
Well, here's my thing. If they're just changing something cosmetically, all right, the idea of changing Tomahawk into Cowboy, like, why? Because we're American? Like, we're cowboys? Like,
it's offensive. It's offensive to Native Americans.
From what I've read, I don't think they're actually like changing like the class abilities or even what the name of the skill set is. So it's like the cowboy has shamanistic arts.
Yeah,
as its skill set.
Wow, but like reskinning things to be less revealing, why? I'm pretty sure our culture has nothing against revealing clothing, right?
I think most people will look at this as another instance of the gaming industry caving to pressures like that of Anita Sarkeesian. I mean, that's what I think. That's the reaction from most people.
Yeah.
Is that look at how Anita has won. Bravely Default has been altered. Clothes are less revealing. They won.
Do you really think
the feminists win?
Square Enix is looking at Anita whatever and is like saying because of her?
No.
As a sole source,
I don't.
As a sole source, no. But I think that he's right that there are people, who have that kind of agenda out there to censor these video games, and yeah, they're going to see this as a win.
Yeah, sure, but here's the thing, though: is it really? Like, is that really why? Does anyone does anyone want to mount an argument that says that this is because of Anita Sarkeesian? No. Okay, good. So we can just throw that one out the window as purely speculative garbage. See, here's the thing, okay? And here's what I want to ask you out there in the audience, the person who is currently screaming at their monitor about Anita Sarkeesian, even though we didn't ask you. We had just asked the people in the room. I'm talking to you, okay?
All right, you got it? We're talking to you. Guy.
The one guy. No.
Guy.
Why do you play video games? Why is it that you play video games? Do you play video games to watch digital characters in little revealing skimpy clothing? Or do you play video games because you enjoy how the game plays as a game?
Well, Lion MX says that the thing with Bravely Second is they've also changed quests and story elements. The quests had multiple outcomes, people died, etc. Now they removed the bad outcomes and there are only happy ones now.
Okay.
I heard that too.
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
And I think that is bullshit. But you
but
can't.
There were some changes that are fair, though.
Yeah.
Did you hear about we talked about this before, right? About the one that there was one where you drug someone into thinking they're straight and they're gay or something.
Fire Emblem. That's
Fire Emblem. Okay,
yeah.
so when shit like that happens, that's fair, I think. But then when it's just there's too many bad things, let's make it happy. I think that's when it becomes too much.
Here's the thing, though, is that people also want to lay that at the feet of Anita Sarkeesian, and you can't. You can try to blame her for getting some of the skimpiness taken out of the clothing. But then my response to you is, why do you care? Why does it matter how skimpy or not the clothing is on a character? That doesn't matter. That has never mattered to me. It doesn't.
Right. I think it's less about the fact that now they're not skimpy, and more about why change them. It doesn't. If they would have came already that unrevealing, right?
Yeah.
I don't think people would have been those need to be more skimpy. I think it's just the fact that companies are letting people influence them is what has a lot of people up in arms. Because you're right. We don't need the skimpy clothing.
That's fair.
Right? But don't let them influence you over even petty shit.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
And that's totally fair. And I think that, if you go, I don't like it because they changed the outcome of quests, that's also fair. But you can't blame Anita Sarkeesian for that. The thing is that I always see this argument conflated and said, it's Anita Sarkeesian's fault. It's not. It's straight up not. There's a lot of people who lobby for different types of sensibilities within video games. And at the end of the day, you have a company and it's their choice. It's their choice whether they want to cave to pressure or not. Now, the choice is up to you whether you buy it. I mean, the demo's out on the Nintendo store right now. A lot of people aren't very happy with it. And I think a lot of that opinion is colored by a lot of this exterior stories that have been going around.
Well, people always need a generalized face to push and mount all of that criticism on top of. So
right, and I'd like to know who made the decision on the content changes, because that may have been, and I'll just take the flack. It may have been Nintendo. You don't know. I mean, in terms of content decisions like that may have been on Nintendo, because Nintendo is very specific about the types of content that it will allow or not allow on its systems.
That is absolutely true.
So we don't know. I mean, if you want to jump, a lot of people have been jumping to conclusions about Square Enix, about Anita Sarkeesian, and I'm just saying.
Well, hold on, because it's on the 3DS in Japan,
right?
Okay. So if this was, something that Nintendo was, about, no, that's too revealing for our systems. Why is it okay in Japan but not okay in America?
I don't know. Maybe Nintendo has a different approach to caving to pressure. I mean,
different social norms, different ways,
culture.
Especially because Nintendo was much more family friendly
they have a totally different corporate culture.
Yeah, they just have a more just what people know about them in general.
It's not like if they so Bravely Default came out, that was what 2011 2012.
Wow, has it been that long?
It's been a while since Bravely Default came out, right? And then this whole thing with Gamergate and Anita Sarkeesian starts up, but this is now 2 Nintendo games that we've seen have heavy edits to them.
What was the other one?
Fire Emblem.
Oh, okay.
So now, I mean, I would say that the suspect source to me is now Nintendo, because that's 2 separate Nintendo games.
But it must be Nintendo USA, because they're coming in over in Japan. It's fine. And that's weird, because I always thought that and again, maybe it's the fact that it's just this subculture within us. But usually in America, they're not very.
Yeah, the whole caving to pressure thing. It's weird. I think, and again, it's a little bit more Nintendo in my mind than it is Square Enix, because Square Enix, I don't think gives a shit. But I mean, but my point was, you had the first Bravely Default that came out on 3DS. They started making the second Bravely Second almost immediately.
Oh yeah, I mean there's a teaser for Bravely Second in Bravely Default.
Exactly.
So they knew it was happening.
Right. So that makes me think that first of all, the delay in this game is and the content edits may have been from Nintendo as opposed to internally from Square Enix. Interesting. I don't know. It's interesting. We'd love to, if you have an opinion, we'd love to take your call, 810-207-1764 or Final Encountercast on Skype. Kookie will get you all taken care of and forward you along to the studio.
I think just what's weirdest to me is usually when you hear of big censorship things like this, it's because it's going into Korea or, it's going into China and they have like all these rules and regulations about it. And for us to be getting the censored version, it's just like, what?
I know.
Coming off of a rough 2015 in which they lost $520 million alone, Twitter has now lost $2 billion since launching in 2006.
Wow.
The company blames stagnated and declining numbers as the key reason for their lack of fiscal success.
Well, I mean, social networks don't last very long. You know what I mean? Like, Facebook has kind of been the outlier, and I'm kind of impressed that people still use Twitter to the degree that they do.
I hate Twitter.
But I mean, like, if you think about
Everybody hates Twitter.
But like, if you think about it, but everyone uses it. So many people fucking use it that how can you not make a profit? How can you not turn a profit in the fucking, like almost 10 years that your company's been a business?
Yeah, that's kind of weird. I have no idea, man.
Just the overhead.
What is their overhead?
Servers, I assume.
Are they saving all of those tweets? On a server somewhere, they just have 10 years worth of fucking tweets?
I don't know.
Get rid of some of those tweets. I'd like to know what the first tweet was. They probably have it somewhere.
They
have that first tweet.
Hello, world.
Did you know that Twitter was initially supposed to be some kind of podcasting service, and then they just changed it to become whatever Twitter is now?
What, really?
Pivoted.
Yeah. Yep. That's true. True story. Okay.
The Netherlands-based developer Vogelsap have created a game which is causing quite a stir. Titled The Flock, it features a limited pool of available player characters, and when they're gone, that's it. No starting over, no wait for the next round. The game goes offline for good. We have a trailer.
All right, let's take a look at that trailer here.
This game looks really interesting.
Is this different than the one we had talked about before, where it was like once you die, your character was dead, but like other people could still join? Is that a different?
I don't think did we talk about something like that?
I don't think.
I mean, there's a game I've been hearing about for years where it was like that, but like your character would die, but other people. It was only like 8 people allowed in the game at a time, and like once your
Permadeath has
character died.
popped up a few times over the years in different games,
right?
But
Okay.
nothing's, I think, been around to be super notable enough,
right?
I think it's obviously a very interesting concept, but like the problem is it can't last very long, can it? Like that type of lifespan. I mean,
unless it's one where like you are no longer allowed to play, but other people can still join. It seems kind of silly to have like 50 people playing, and once it's dead, like it goes offline.
No. I think people can still continually sign up for it.
It says a limited pool of available characters, and when they're gone, that's it. Like it's going offline. The game would no longer exist.
I mean, right now it's very basic. It sort of plays on the light theme, and so it's sort of like those that are monster characters. I don't think can attack or move very much in the light. It's sort of like the Weeping Angels from Doctor Who. That's the way I think about it.
I feel like games like this are work better as more of a experiment.
Yes.
Than they do an actual game, because there's no way if you're gonna have a limited, player pool.
I'm not gonna pay money for that. That's for sure.
Yeah. Like, and how do you then make money off of it?
But it brings real stakes into the game, though. That's what I like.
See, I think the better way to do it would be to have that permanent character death, right? We have to start over whenever you die, but maybe you're only allowed one life per month or something like that.
Have like seasons.
Yeah, so if you die, you're out of it. You lose all your playtime now, but at some point, people have to be able to come back to the game.
Yeah, I feel like that's the only way this game could actually work, because like as soon as you die, then you're gonna tune out of the game, and then people I
don't know if there's some kind of compelling narrative and a central mystery that you wanted to solve, then I think you would actually stay pretty tuned into it for the rest of.
But at some point, if the last person dies and it goes offline, like that's just it. It's done now.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's an interesting concept.
Absolutely.
Permadeath is, I think, has always been a really kind of interesting and fun concept to play around with, and I'm waiting for the game that really gets it right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That will like really like where it'll become. I see, because I don't see this becoming a phenomenon. It's a cool concept. I think a couple of people will check it out and then it'll go away. And the fact that it goes away forever, I think that's kind of cool, because you'll tell other people about it and they'll be like, well, can I play it? And you'll be like, no, it's gone. It's gone
turned off.
Gone forever.
Someone won.
And I think that that's a really cool concept. Is this going to be the thing that really like launches it into like mainstream? No, I don't think so. But kudos to them for like picking a really bold choice and sticking with it. That's what I think is cool. So.
Father.io is the world's first real-life MMO first-person shooter. The device attaches to your smartphone and uses the camera to create a FPS game that you can play in the real world.
But yeah, let's just shoot our friends. Great idea. No violence in it all.
Okay, Senator.
At least you're not like walking around with like a toy gun doing it.
Yeah.
Like this is something that you could go out into the real world and fucking do. Like I actually found this just randomly on Facebook, even though Chris, you're fuck, I'm so bad.
Wow.
I've said your names wrong more than I have right.
Boo.
Put this on our outline, before the show, and when I first came across it, I thought that it looked pretty cool.
I can't escape it on Facebook. It's like it's
I've only seen it the one time.
Every time I go to Facebook, it's there as an ad. So, but it's an I don't know. And the trailer does a really good job of showing what the concept is.
Yeah.
Although I don't think that in execution it would end up being anything like this. It's sort of like
same place. I'm at the same place with you.
The way that I look at this is a little bit the way that I look at Nerf gun commercials. Right? Like you can do all of that stuff with a Nerf gun. Nobody does. Not a single person who has ever bought a Nerf gun has ever done any of that shit with a Nerf gun ever. And I sort of feel the same way about this. So, all right, let's check out the trailer then.
I'm socially awkward. I love how he hits his hat off.
Yeah, this would never happen anywhere. This is the most unrealistic version of this.
You don't know. This could happen. What if this thing takes off?
These people are all strangers.
I know.
But like, has this ever happened with mobile games?
Well,
ever?
hold on. Okay, hold on. Now, this type of thing just happening randomly, like when you're like getting off work or something, no, not likely to happen. But if Ingress has shown us anything, if this game does take off and it is like this thing shows, there will end up being huge gatherings of people who put together tournaments and stuff like that.
I guess.
This is the part that I'm not really hooked on, right? So this guy at home using
a helicopter?
Using a drone.
This drone. All right, first of all, for him to see, there actually has to be a drone up there. So you're actually going to sell drones? How expensive is that going to be?
Pay to win.
Right. Well, not just that. No, it's not even that. Why would you then put out this expensive, like, peripheral property for some fucking dickbag to fucking throw a rock at and knock out of the air? Right?
Yeah.
Like, that's the type of thing that but I mean, other than that, I think that it, again, that looks pretty cool.
I think that this could be really cool on like college campuses and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man.
Just wait till somebody walks in front of a bus.
Right?
I think what
pro strats, bro, okay?
Yeah.
The best thing about this trailer is people's reactions when they die. Because that's exactly how you react like in real life.
So it's got like a little peripheral. Like, I don't understand how the peripheral works at all. Where does it plug in? What does it do? How does it interact with the phone? How do you get it to interact with multiple different kinds of phones?
What actually has me the most excited about this game isn't the game itself, it's the concept around it, right? For the longest time, as long as we have been gamers, VR has always been that next thing, right? When are we going to get virtual reality? And now because of things like Ingress and Pokemon Go, and now this, augmented reality, I feel like, at least for me, is more of an exciting prospect than virtual reality is.
I mean, I can see that. It's interesting for sure. I don't know.
Fan-made Morrowind remaster gives another look at the progress they've made. Skywind has had its first development update in over a year. The project, completely fan-driven with Bethesda's blessing, is remastering the 2002 classic Morrowind in the Skyrim engine. The team, which has done numerous other Elder Scrolls projects, originally had less than 10 people on it, but now has a volunteer workforce of 30 or more at any given time. And we do have a dev video here.
Yes, we do. I just want to play a little bit of it to just kind of show off what they're showing off. It's part of the TES renewal project, and they are taking volunteers, by the way. So here we go. Here's the first bit of Morrowind rendered in Skyrim, which I think is very impressive.
Looks like the Lonely Mountain.
It it kind of.
And this isn't going to be killed with a cease and desist.
No,
they gave their blessing.
They have Bethesda.
Awesome.
Yeah, they have. Bethesda's really like we were saying.
They're really happy. They don't mind mods and stuff.
No, they've always really embraced that kind of stuff, and it seems like they're continuing to embrace this. They've got voice actors. It seems like I mean,
awesome.
They're really putting a whole lot of work and effort into it, and I think it looks great. I just wanted to kind of share a little bit of their progress because I'm super impressed. And this is obviously a dev blog that you can go check out. We have a link to this over at our website, finalencountercast.com. But it's almost a 9-minute long video that shows off what they have, what they've done already. And I'm so impressed by what they've got.
I feel like there's been a lot of so-and-so made an Unreal Engine that have been coming out soon or recently. I saw the Ocarina of Time, the Temple of Time was remade recently using that. Nothing else really comes to mind, but everywhere I look, I feel like this has been remade in Unreal Engine. This has been remade in Unreal Engine.
And most of those get shut down. But no, this one's being done with the Skyrim engine.
Why not?
Yeah.
If you're not going to make this project yourself, why not let them do it? Because at the worst, someone else is going to stumble across this and be like, oh, this is so cool. I want to play the original, or, try out a new one or something.
Yeah, no.
Shadow Moses, a fan-made remake of Metal Gear Solid in the Unreal 4 engine, has been canceled. The developer announced on their Facebook page that the remake was being canceled for reasons beyond our control.
AKA
we got lazy.
No, yeah, that's I think Nika's got the right of it. Is that they got a cease and desist letter and they were just like,
absolutely, it's fucking Konami now. Without Kojima, they're not going to let anything Metal Gear come out like this. No way, especially not a fan-made thing.
No,
absolutely not.
No. So that's disappointing.
Yep. Sony Pictures has confirmed that a Spider-Man spin-off movie starring Venom is back on. Sony placed the movie, along with The Amazing Spider-Man 3 and a Sinister 6 movie, on hold last year. They have confirmed now, though, that the Venom is indeed in production, with Alex Kurtzman set to direct.
Who is that? Who is that?
His name sounds familiar.
I know.
I'm sure that I've seen plenty of his other movies. The biggest question I have about this is who's going to be in charge of that? Sony or Marvel? They're going to give it to Marvel. I'll give it a shot. Sony. If Sony's going to take their own shot at it, I don't want anything to do with it.
I'm going to guess Sony because they own they own the rights. Yeah.
Yeah, but they're also splitting rights with Marvel for the new Captain America.
Right. So what I'm hoping is whatever agreement, the official agreement is that Marvel gets to make it, right, and Sony gets distribution rights or something like that.
Yeah,
but we'll see.
I doubt it. I mean, just because they've been able to work well with each other on a few things and a few
one thing. I think the whole
just the one.
The whole Civil War is the only one. Yeah,
that they've kind of come together on. Yeah. That doesn't bode well.
No,
I don't. I
mean, a little bit more hope than we had previously, but still.
Yeah.
So even though FF15's release date won't be officially announced until the event on March 30th, it seems it was released early by the website Jamatsu. They claim that their date and information is backed up by 3 independent sources that would have reliable knowledge of the matter. But we will see for certain at the FF15 event in LA on March 30th, but that date is speculated at September 30th, 2016.
Jeez. Well,
that's coming up.
Yeah, that is coming up, but it's still, I mean, for a game that's been in development for that long.
When was development started on 15?
But we've never had a any kind of a release date idea. So I mean, this is something. And it was Chris, it was announced. Let me think. It was announced as Versus 13 at the same time 13 was announced.
Yeah.
Oh God.
So,
exactly.
So 13 Versus 13 and Agito 13 were all announced at the same time, and then Agito 13 turned into Type 0, which also was already released, and this, went from Versus 13 to 15, and yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah. And what more can you say?
I don't know.
Still not excited about it.
Speaking, I'm just.
I am. I have high
Of
hopes.
course
Really
you
do.
are, Nika.
I totally checked out of the FF series, like the main installments.
You say that now, but I bet it's going to be.
No, I'm not saying that it can't be good or that it can't get me back into it, but yeah, nope, I'm checked out.
Nate, you're not checked into Final Fantasy Metal Gear Solid?
No, can't say that I am. You know who is though? Gator157842 on YouTube.
Gator.
Who apparently we really upset with our Final Fantasy 15 discussion last time.
Really?
Oh yeah, because he left us a litany of YouTube comments. The first one, he says Nika, and he spells your name with a C, apparently.
Nika.
Nisa.
You're awesome, and these guys are a bunch of lame asses.
Shit, yeah!
Also, the next response is, your shitty hair is the worst.
What the fuck?
I know.
Whose?
I don't know.
Whose shitty hair?
Yeah, he didn't specify.
I actually, at least on show days, kind of take time and effort to do my hair. So
Gator 1.34156, please tell us whose hair is so bad.
All these guys are retarded. Do you really think they would make a whole event for nothing? If you don't like it, don't fucking play it. The girl is the only sensible one among you all.
The girl. I have a name.
The girl.
It's
the
Nisa.
girl. It's Nisa.
I'm just the girl.
This game will be awesome. You guys take your complaining somewhere else. I think that cute girl should kick all four of you in your dumb heads.
Wait a minute. Take our opinion somewhere other than our fucking show?
Other than our own show.
Oh, wait. He actually said take your opinion somewhere else?
Yes!
You're on our YouTube channel, motherfucker!
How dumb are you?
They're player haters.
Oh, Gator. That loudmouth needs to fuck right off. What a loser that loudmouth is. If I was the guy in the chair beside him, If I was the guy in the chair beside him, I'd punch him out. Doesn't know Final Fantasy is one of the only games that has changed consistently since 1997. Everyone since then has been different from one another. This guy is such a fucking idiot.
This is bullshit.
I definitely think he's talking about you, and he wants me to punch you.
Yeah, I think so. And it's since SINCE, not SENSA.
Whatever, you bitch!
And this last one, because this one is just my favorite. I hate your glasses and t-shirt and mic and desk and your shitty posters and your ugly self and you stupid guy friends and your lame shitty fucking attitude. Anybody can talk shit about stuff that they don't know. You know just about as much as everyone does about this fucking game. Fucking nothing.
All in caps?
Oh my god, most of it was in caps. Yeah.
So I actually
Gator.
I'm assuming this is a new person to our show, and this is actually really exciting for me because this means that someone listens to FEC and not LBR. We have real listeners, guys. This is a success for us.
Well,
He's pissed.
it's just funny. It's just funny how defensive people get about this stuff.
That's amazing.
I mean, I understand, I get upset when people, automatically jump to, man, this game's gonna suck, blah, blah, blah. I get a little upset, and I'll defend it, but, I'm not gonna sit here and,
He made 6 comments in a row.
Kasumi Cascade in the chat says, oh, come on, that's it. There has to be more.
No, that was it. I maybe there's a comment that I missed in there while scrolling around.
Here's what I want to know.
That was just a selection.
What does your poor desk or microphone or posters do?
I know.
Come on, a Space Odyssey, man.
It's okay. He called
that was dumb.
Maybe his pills kicked in. He took a nap.
Gator Rage, someone says.
Gator Rage.
You know what?
What?
Someone must have messed with his Dublan Langata. Waterboy reference.
You're an inspiration for birth control.
All right. Well, that's it.
That's my favorite.
That's it for gaming news this week, guys.
Thanks, Gator.
Yeah. Thank you, Gator, for those comments. If you want to comment, if you want to leave us a YouTube comment, you can check out our YouTube page over at youtube.com/FinalEncounterCast. We would love more comments like this,
please,
because they just make my day. But there was something I wanted to talk about, and I for a minute I struggled whether to talk about this on Limit Break Radio or Final Encountercast, because this is something that happened on Twitch inside the FF14. They were broadcasting on FF14, but last week, I think I had come across my very first unequivocal and legitimate case of Twitch view botting. And it really, I think it bothered me way more than it should have.
Mm-hmm.
So, there was someone who was broadcasting around last week-ish in the FF14 game. They were playing FF14. And, they landed on our radar, of course, because they were in FF14.
Right. Were they starting like a new game? Like they were...
They were new. They were Sprouts. They were in a low-level dungeon.
Yeah, all right. Super new.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought I seen him in Northern Thanalan.
No.
No, they were running like, gosh,
Holly
I want to say it was like...
Yeah.
No shit.
No,
Holly
Toto Rock. Toto Rock?
Toto Rock.
Yeah. All those low-level dungeons.
Yeah.
The gauntlet of shit dungeons.
Right. Exactly. So, it's just... It bothered me because, first of all, they were sitting at 520 some odd people.
Okay.
And when you went in, and the chat was literally just hearts. It was just people emoting hearts over and over and over again. And every once in a while, there was like one person that would be like, stream hype.
WTF.
Yeah.
WTF.
And WTF.
And then a bunch of hearts.
Yeah,
like what Cookie's doing right now.
And exactly what Cookie's doing. And it was just a chat of all hearts. And it just seemed very strange because, I mean, obviously, we broadcast in FF14 all the time. Mm-hmm. We pay attention to what our numbers are very closely.
Other numbers are?
What other
for other people.
For other people,
mm-hmm.
Yeah, because we want to know how we're doing in terms of, competition. And to come in and see, someone that we've never seen on FF14 before, sitting at 500 people, most people, I think, blew that off as like, oh, they've got a following from another game,
right,
and they're coming here. Mm-hmm. But when you went in, it was the most obvious view
because it's happened before. Someone's playing FF for the first time. They have a bunch of followers that are watching them play new games.
Ure.
But when you have a specific...
because what's his name? Trump was also streaming, and he had like 2,000 people.
Yes. When you have a following, though, those people, like our people, are usually invested in you, right? They're constantly making comments. They're trying to talk with you. They're not just spamming fucking hearts all the time.
Right. And when they were asked about, what was going on, they said that they were being raided, which it's pretty clear that they were not being raided.
Yeah,
they
when people raid, they come from a channel, they spam where they came from so that everyone goes and checks them out. They
exactly.
special emotes, and it usually lasts maybe 5 to 10 minutes.
But I mean, I've had suspicions of view botting in the past, but this one was like, it was so clear cut and blatant, and it really, really bothered me. It really bothered me. And the fact that there weren't more people who were like in there and like able to call them out or like able to spot it. I don't know. It blows my mind. Is this just what people do to grow followings anymore? Is that they just shell out for view bots or they shell out for advertisements?
Well, hold on. How would view botting even necessarily? Because if I came into a stream, right, and that was going on, I wouldn't be like, oh yeah, this guy's coming to follow him. I'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Views, like, so if anyone had searched for 14 channel, they would see them right up near the top.
Yeah. I think the only way that really works is if you already have a bit of a dedicated following, like we do, right?
Right.
So, like, if we decided to view bot, and we actually already have people talking, so no one would come in and be like, well, I don't think these guys really have 568 people watching.
Exactly. And they had only 500 followers total. And that was the weird thing, because we don't get up to 500, and we've got nearly 5,000 people following us.
Do you think this was also the guy's first time streaming?
No, definitely wasn't.
No, I asked them to. They stream a whole bunch of different games because they like to keep it different or whatever. And what it seems like is that they said something like, oh, when we stream bigger games, we get lost in the crowd and we find we're more successful on the smaller games.
Fuck you.
So I think that was part of their strategy.
But FF14 isn't a smaller game. That's a tight-knit community
it's a smaller game in terms of the Twitch views, though. Like, we have
compared
a few popular
to League of
streamers who get a
Legends
lot,
or
but
Hearthstone.
comparatively to people on League of Legends, like the first 100, 200, 300 people have tons of viewers, while on ours it's like 2 or 3 people have
right. But most of the time, if someone comes into a game that they don't stream often, they've got like hundreds of thousands of followers if they're at like 500 people watching them concurrently. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like they had like 500-ish people
total
watching them, and then when I first came in there at the start, they were at like 200 followers. So
what?
Yeah.
Because when I came in, they were at least 500, and I was like, really, every single one of their people?
Right after. I mean,
that's what I was wondering, because I thought
basically they had a follower every, I want to say
5
20 seconds. Not
Yes.
even 20 seconds, 15 seconds.
right. So these bots were hitting the follow button.
Yes.
Or whatever. So
Yes.
that's what I thought weird is when you were first telling me about that. 520 viewers. 500 bots. So that's why I thought, so did they just start this so all their bots
The bots were different. Bots would leave and different bots would come in.
Yes, I think so.
That's so fucked up.
If you're going to do that, and I'm not recommending that anyone do that, but if you're going to do that, you got to stream on a channel that, or on a game that literally nobody else is playing. Literally 0 other people are playing. You know what I mean? If, probably Callie was one of the 2 people streaming FF9 the entirety of
Yep, and both had 80 people when I saw anyway.
Right. So if that's if that's the case, then pick a game where there's
not even
10 people.
Not even that. How about not have a shitty bot that just spams the same fucking emote all the
or just
fucking
don't
time.
bot. The fucking botting is it's reprehensible. It pissed me off because I'm like, here we are, we're slugging it out.
What does that even get him though?
We're slugging it out for every follow that we get. We're slugging it out for every viewer that we get. And here's this guy, because here's what I think he was going for. Right?
Okay.
I think he was trying to get Twitch partner status. I think that's why you do that.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna say, Chris, you're really good at playing the devil's advocate, right?
Sure.
So get in his mindset. Tell me why you would bot to get those follows when you know they're not real.
Well, because my channel will have X number of follows, there's 500 other people watching, so that will drive other people to come to my channel because I'm number 1, number 2 on the list.
Yep.
And Final Fantasy 14 at the time had something like 3,000 people watching because of Trump.
But other people weren't actually following him.
Probably not. I mean, you couldn't really tell because you had 500 or actually 1,000 bots hitting the follow button, so you don't know who was legit and who wasn't.
And that's what would drive me crazy.
Yeah, me as a streamer, I would hate that.
I want to know that those views and those follows are legitimate.
But
the thing is if you're trying to get a Twitch partner status, you need so many followers or whatever, they're not going to care.
Right.
And they kept saying 1,000 follower hype, we're trying to get 1,000 follows or whatever, and I don't know. I think they kept saying every so much we're gonna give giveaways, and they had it was weird because they had some kind of bot program running where no matter for however long you're watching their stream, you get a certain amount of points, and then you can use those points for giveaways.
Yeah,
which is cool. But then if there's only 5 legit people, then who cares?
Well, even if it is for Twitch partner status, right? If you don't actually have real views and real followers, what's that going to do for you? And secondly,
because you're not going to get any subscribers,
right. And secondly, when you do have let's say when we have our audition, or whatever you want to call it, for our Twitch sub status over on this channel, right? They let you know what day it's going to happen, right?
No, not necessarily. I mean, we kind of
let them know, kind of.
No, we got. It was because it was there was a dialogue with our Twitch representative that we knew that they were going to look at our
because my thing
numbers
is
for that day.
I mean, I guess they don't necessarily have to have someone watching you. It can all be automated and just look at the numbers that you pulled in. Yep. But I feel like from what you described me, that if anybody from Twitch would have actually looked at their stream, they would have been able to be like, that's fucking weird.
No. Yeah. Well, that did happen. Like, I started a dialogue with one other real. Well, first of all, they kept saying that these people were rating them from somewhere in Germany because there was German language involved.
But again, if I'm a Twitch representative watching them to see how well they do,
you can.
Yeah. I sent messages to all of those people. None of them replied.
This is where the raid started. This is where it ended. And as a Twitch representative, I looked through the entirety of this chat from start to finish, and it's just this long.
And literally,
stream
like
of
all
hearts the
500
entire
show
time.
up at the. All 500 showed up at the same time.
Yeah.
Started spamming hearts, which is not like, they never said where they came from. I started some dialogue with one of their real viewers, and he's like, oh, I found this guy on Reddit who apparently can like look into Twitch chat, so I'm going to email him. I was like, okay. And he started this dialogue, and then all of a sudden, all 500 Twitch bots just disappeared, and they had 18 viewers.
Yep.
They're like,
at the same time.
Yeah,
at the same time.
So I feel like if because you're right, I feel like that's a legitimate way to use it. Is I'm going to try and get partnered to Twitch. That they would know that's what you're fucking doing.
Yeah. I'm curious, Twitch chat, tell me, do you report stuff like this? If you came across something like this, is this something that you would have reported to Twitch? Because, I mean, I felt a little bit like,
it's not fair if they can get Twitch. I mean, we worked for ours. So.
Exactly. Because if this had gone under the radar and Twitch had never noticed, they didn't remove any of the people, that's a nice big bump and a big boost to how many people are following you and to how many people are potentially tuning in. And, I feel like it's been done before to success, because if it was a failure every time, no one would ever do it. And it bugs me out. Because, we do put a lot of effort into, into our product and into streaming. And, it's tough, man. It's real. Like, there are times after refresh, when we do refresh on Wednesdays at 10 here at twitch.tv/Final Encountercast. Tune in.
Shameless plug.
Yes. But, after the show wraps up, dude, we get down to like 9 people, 12 people. That's really discouraging. And I understand what it's like to broadcast to that few people and to have it feel really discouraging. It's not a fun feeling.
No, I mean, the same thing happens to me too, because again, with the late show every other Saturday at 11 p.m. Eastern, I was playing Fallout 4 the other day for like 5 hours on into the night, and I forgot who it was. I think it was Mr. Jack came in. He's like, 8 people. Are you just starting? No, I had been going for like 3 or 4 hours,
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, when you're still in single digits after a couple hours, it is just like,
at that point, I'm just kind of playing for myself. So.
It just hurts.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, though, okay? Because I feel like the only way, just from an outsider looking in, remember, botting's wrong, we don't endorse it, if you do it, you're scum, that it would work in your favor is if you already have a dedicated following, right? So you pad your numbers with it, just so you're higher up.
Yeah.
But then my question to you is, or my comment to you is, if you already have yourself a dedicated audience, dudes,
why not just grow it?
You don't need the bot.
No.
Like, come on.
No.
Yeah.
Believe in yourself.
Exactly.
And if you don't, jump off a bridge for botting.
No, I think what they were trying to go for with this botting attempt was not to get Twitch partnership, because it was obvious Twitch would never go for it. I think this was trying to actually develop their viewership and have people come in, follow them. I mean, see that they're number 2 on the list, see what they're all about,
and get legitimate follows off of that.
And get legitimate follows that will follow them elsewhere.
I think it backfired on them, though.
Oh, I'm sure it did.
See, that's what I was saying when you guys said, "Oh no, they've played games before." Is that just what they said, or are you sure?
That's what they said. I've never seen the channel before.
Yeah, because the fact that they had 500 probably bot viewers and exactly 500 followers makes me feel like this was their first time trying to do this.
Maybe.
I feel like it was their first time.
I think there was a couple legit people in their chat who already had followed them. And
probably.
And their setup was, pretty involved.
It looked good.
Yeah, they had put some serious work into their setup. So
it was very, very templated. Like, I feel like this was.
They had a green screen, dude. There were 2 people, and they each had green screens.
I am not a robot woman. I am real. Thor and Malky regularly take turns to play with my buttons. It makes my circuit board so moist and oily. Viewbots are bad. Robo-Bukake is good. Hashtag I'm tired.
Bukake?
That's my favorite thing about that voice is how it pronounces certain names.
Yeah.
Bukake.
Aniero.
Lalafel. Lalafel. Yeah. Anyway, thank you, Thor, for that donation. We appreciate it, man. So yeah, no, I just I don't know why anyone would do it. I don't know why anyone would put their Twitch channel in jeopardy to try to boost their numbers like that, because it's so obvious when it happens that it's super easy. It's super easy to call out every time.
Yep. So shame on you, whoever the fuck you were.
All right.
Not smart.
All right. We're about out of time here for Final Encountercast, but before we go, I just wanted to go to our phone lines once real quick. Jovi's been hanging on for quite a while. Jovi, thanks for calling Final Encountercast.
Hi, guys.
Hi. So, so Jovi, you've been listening to the better part of the discussion going on here. What do you want to chime in on?
I wanted to chime in on the whole virtual reality thing, and as I was listening to Robbie, he did bring up a good point. I do think that augmented reality is a little better than virtual reality, mainly because like with augmented reality, you don't have to you're basically just kind of like living a game in the real world.
Yeah,
but with virtual reality, you're more involved with making an entire world and having to think of
put the person in it.
It's kind of like the idea
of everything
behind mobile gaming and gaming on like consoles and the PC is you can get just as much money out of it, if not more, but it takes less money development side. I think.
You've got this unique with a augmented reality game. You've got a unique thing that's going on because you've got a device that has a camera on the front, so it kind of has its own field of vision,
right?
And then within it, the game has to operate and have rules that it plays by. So
in the case of this, yes, Ingress I think doesn't use that kind of thing.
That's the thing, is that it's kind of on the developer to be able to create the rules and how exactly with the rules the game interacts with real life.
Yes.
But I mean, you've got questions in this Father.io game where, like, if someone is hiding behind cover, right? How does that work exactly? Like,
or when you're getting headshots, how does it know where, in relation to your holding the body, that it can
exactly?
Because
I don't think laser tag can't determine unless you have a sensor on your head or your arms.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you'd have to have
sensor.
But at the same time, I mean, phones nowadays are able, when you're taking a picture, to be like, oh, that's probably a face.
That's a shitload of processing power, and it has to do that in real time. Holy fuck, dude! I
feel like with concepts like that, where you have to use where it'll register whether you got a headshot or not. I feel like they would make use of the whole vibration thing with the phone. Like if you got a headshot, maybe you'd get like a really intense vibration, but if you just got like a body shot, then yeah, it's just like a weak vibration.
But there is a whole game portion, like there's a whole game aspect that needs to be worked out with that whole thing, and with VR overall. I mean, now that we're getting into, we've had 3D spaces for a long time, but now we're getting into, navigating them in real time and stuff like that. It's gonna, it's gonna present a whole lot of new. New drawbacks, new inherent challenges
hurdles
for the whole
and obstacles that you wouldn't otherwise have had to worry about in traditional gaming or even virtual reality. No, that's absolutely true. That's absolutely true. I just think it was interesting to me that within just like a month's time, VR, for just again personally for me, was always like the next step, and it's weird because until Pokemon Go and Ingress, the idea of this augmented reality just never even dawned on me.
Yeah.
And now it's just like someone's like opened up this whole new chapter of possibilities. You know?
Jovi, thank you so much for the call. Unfortunately, we gotta wrap things up here on Final Encountercast, but we do appreciate the call. We do take your calls live here on the air, soon to be every Sunday. That's starting March 27th. That's in 2 weeks. We're going to be doing this show each and every single week, Comcast permitting. I apologize. I see that we have dropped quite a lot of frames during this broadcast.
Motherfucker.
Fortunately, everything held up. It didn't go down. We didn't have to reset the scene or anything. So that's fortunate. But I do want to thank you guys for putting up with all of our technical issues today and just being overall patient as an audience. There's still 132 of you hanging on right now, which is pretty good for this show. I got to say, 132.
Yeah, that is.
132 is doing all right.
My chat must be fucked up because I've been staring at 88.
Yeah,
past however long. Oh yeah, there we go. Cool.
Yeah, 132.
Go
so
you guys.
Thank you guys. If this has been your first time hanging out with Final Encountercast, I want to encourage you to hit that follow button. Come back on Sundays because that's when we're going to be doing the show. You can also join us on Wednesdays at 10 a.m. for episodes of Refresh. If you've never heard that show, it's a talk show, kind of like this one, but we talk about more stuff and just whatever sort of comes to mind.
And play cool music.
That's right, and we play some cool music. You can check that out 10 a.m. here at on Wednesdays at twitch.tv/Final Encountercast.
And you guys usually keep it going all day long, too.
We do at least a good 3 to 4 hours worth of a show because that's just what we sit down and do. The show's kind of over when we feel like it. We talk about whatever we want to, and we also allow you to call into that. So it's like a real morning show that you used to listen to on the radio, but now you don't have to because the radio sucks and it's filled with people that you wouldn't normally listen to their opinions if they were trying to make conversation with you in the grocery line. So do yourself a favor. Join us on Wednesday mornings at 10 here at twitch.tv/Final Encountercast for Refresh. It's myself and my two friends, Joe and Will. We get together and do that show, and it's a lot of fun. And if you want to check it out, you can find episodes of it over at our website, finalencountercast.com, where you can find all of our episodes for Final Encountercast, as well as all of the stories that we talked about here today. Shout out and thank you to our producer, Kooky, who has been live updating that blog the entire show and has been running our calls. Thank you so much, Kooky. We appreciate
the real MVP.
We appreciate all of the effort that you've shown this show and Limit Break Radio. And also, we want to send a shout out and thank you to Len, who has been filling in for Callie today. And we
contributed nothing, just like
well,
Callie.
We gave him a mic, and he made use of it. So good job.
Good job, I guess.
Yes, good job.
Good job running drinks.
And
Anytime.
and
Getting better.
Stick around because the post show with Pops and Cookies coming up next over on twitch.tv/Limit Break Radio. If you've been hanging out with us all day, make sure to join us for the meta discussion that happens over there. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Have a good one.